It has now been 2 weeks since those deadly Maui wildfires.
That's right. The fires destroyed more than 2,000 structures across Maui and decimated the historic town of Lahaina.
Crews continue. Yesterday, FBI officials reported as many as 1,100 people are still unaccounted for. 115 people have been confirmed dead.
Our Lilia Luciano joins us now from Kihei on Maui. Lilia, so many families are wondering what happened to their loved ones. What do search efforts look like now?
Well, Lana, Errol, right now there's still hundreds of federal officials or federal workers who are combing through what's left to go through of the devastation. That is about 13 to 15% of the area that was destroyed. That area includes buildings that are multi-level, so it makes it a little bit more complicated. We heard from officials here that there's a concern that the fires burned to such a high degree that some remains will never be found. We heard from the FBI that the area where they're looking for these bodies, it's just hard to imagine the degree at which that they're finding these remains. We've talked to people who have found remains that are identifiable or that they know because of where they were located, who that may be. But one of the biggest challenges that the FBI is saying is, look, we have 114 remains found, but they've only received DNA samples from 104 families. So they're having a really hard and what they say unprecedented time because of the lack of families coming forward and providing their DNA, identifying the bodies. Also, the officials who gave a press conference yesterday were talking about that there are several lists of people who remain unaccounted for. They've been working to narrow down those lists to one. It was at 2,500, now it's at 1,100, as you said. But there's all kinds of challenges from not having enough information from people or about the people who are unaccounted for, not having their age, last name, last location. So one of the tools that they have at their disposal right now is, besides information from relatives and loved ones, witnesses, and the DNA identification, they're also using cell technology to know exactly where people were and then, follow through in case somebody didn't make it out and they haven't been reported as found. But there's all kinds of challenges and miscommunication or confusion around these lists. Which one is official? How is it being put together? Who can go in there and change it? And that has been frustrating people for days.
And it's, I guess, a reminder of just how this disaster has scrambled life for so many people. And the intensity of these fires still is tough to imagine. I've seen car metal just melt onto the ground. So now what is life like?
So many fires, yeah.
Yeah, it's really jarring. What about for the people who survived then, Lilia? They're traumatized and they're trying to get on with their lives. But what do resources look like for them?
Well, right now, most people who were in those congregate shelters have been moved to a more permanent place like a hotel room. And, the word is not really permanent, but more long term. The hotels are filled with people who were either evacuated or lost everything. There has been that initial critical aid, $700, that has been approved for thousands of families. But of course, given the high cost of living throughout all of Hawaii, it's not enough. People right now are just very focused on their initial shock and their survival, where their lives are going to be long term. There is rental assistance that has been approved from the federal government. There's also confusion for people because most people who go through this is the first time that they do it, and they're not sure what's available for them from FEMA or if it's a small business loan. So it's really just a time of confusion and of trying to get answers, but FEMA does have one-on-one workers here at the Maui College helping people out.
All right, Lilia Luciano, we appreciate the update. Thank you.